As chair, I now recognize myself for 5 minutes. Um, Director Dearman, in its 2017 report, the Government Accountability Office has said it was adding the Bureau of Indian Education's Administration and Oversight Schools to its high-risk list because of evidence of unsafe school conditions, inconsistent school health and safety inspection, lack of workplace planning, and poor oversight of school spending of federal funds. In its subsequent reports, GAO also identified other high-risk issues such as the BIE's oversight of special education at schools. So could you discuss how the BIE has addressed or is addressing these high-risk issues? Are there high-risk areas that continue to be a challenge for the BIE to address? How can we as legislators support your efforts to address areas of high risk? And what actions have you taken to provide leadership and support to address GAO's recommendations on the BIE's high risk status? If you can swing all of that in, that'd be appreciated.
Well, thank you, Chairman. Thank you for the question. I became director in November 2016, and we were placed on the high-risk list in 2017, and we gathered our leadership team immediately to address the GAO recommendations. And we will continue to address the GAO recommendations. As we've stated in our opening remarks, we have closed 23 of the 39 recommendations, and we feel comfortable and feel confident that we'll continue to work hard to close the remaining recommendations. We have a lot of the recommendations in getting close to packaging, closure packages for some of the recommendations, and we continue to work collaboratively with GAO. GAO has been a great partner, and as I've stated in previous hearings, Chairman, we will continue to work with GAO and use their recommendations as a roadmap to continue to make BIE better. We need the assistance. We feel like we totally agree with what GAO is saying, and we are proud of our leadership team in BIE because we are the most consistent leadership team that the BIE has had in the history of the organization. And we continue to work hard to implement the recommendation, Chairman.
Oh, thank you for that. Because, you know, like I am aware of educational jurisdictions that are in high risks, some of who have been in high risk for 20 years, and I understand maybe 30 years, and it's costing the local jurisdictions a lot of money. So thank you for that, Mr. Dearborn. Director Silva, which of the recommendations that are still open do you believe will have the greatest overall impact if addressed? And what do you believe is a reasonable time for BIE to implement these recommendations?
Yes, we have one priority recommendation that is still open, which is for BIE to improve its delivery of special education and related services. Specifically, we recommended in 2020 that BIE develop a plan to make up missed special education services on a consistent basis across all BIE schools. We found in our report that BIE was not providing consistent services when their providers were out sick or absent for other reasons. That is the most important of the recommendations we feel for BIE to implement.
And so what do you believe BIE will have to take immediately to be able to achieve this target? And how has GAO been working with BIE to help achieve this timeline?
As Director Dearman testified, we do have very collaborative relationships with BIE and with Mr. Dearman and his leadership team. They have reported they are working to address our 10 open recommendations, including the one I just mentioned, to develop a consistent policy to make up missed special education services. Director Dearman would probably have a better idea of the time frame for their implementation of these outstanding recommendations.
Thank you very much. I now turn to